Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of Real Reviews. I'm your host Rohit Rampal, and this is where I let you know what to watch and what to perhaps just skip altogether. This is a very special episode dedicated to the saga of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. We'll start off with the first movie, which is titled, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, where we're introduced to the main character of this whole saga, Newt Scamander. Now, Newt has dedicated his life to looking for and caring for these new fantastic beasts. Well, beast creatures, whatever you want to call them. So it's a different world from Harry Potter. Harry Potter, again, is the sequel to this, or rather, this is the prequel to Harry Potter, where that was more focused on wizards and witches, and this is more focused on the interactions with these magical creatures and beings, since we've only just touched on them during the Harry Potter saga. It's great to see some of these creatures and what they're capable of, and a lot of them are basically a mashup of animals that already exist or animals that we are already aware of, whether it be make-believe or in real life. And just the graphics in general of how they created these creatures and how they bring them to life, it just brings some sort of wholesomeness to and warmth to yourself, right? So I found that to be incredible in terms of when I first started watching this film. But in terms of storyline, I found it a little bit just everywhere. It was kind of a lot going on, a lot to take in. There was a lot of information to digest. But the movie was great. The plot is set up nicely so that you know what to expect in the coming films. And you get introduced to all the different and new characters which are sort of going to be taking the story and advancing it. So in terms of where I think the first movie lies, I think it is a watch. Is it a must-watch? Probably, I would say so. I would say it's definitely a must-watch. You should go and watch it because it's just a whole different type of world. And if you're a Harry Potter fan, you especially need to watch it if you haven't already watched it. I'm going to assume you have, but even then, again, this is a spoiler-free zone, and I will not spoil it. We're going to move on to the second film, which is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Now here is where we start focusing on the antagonist, which happens to be, Grindelwald, who is portrayed by Johnny Depp. He does a fantastic job. We see him in the earlier film as well, in the first film, but this is where we sort of start connecting and learning more about what is driving him and what his motivation is. We start to learn about different relationships between the characters and how the plot is being advanced with those relationships in mind. Now, this film I feel like was more of a filler film in terms of it was setting us up and preparing us for the next film. So in saying that, although there was a lot of information and a lot of the same things as the first film, I feel like it just didn't quite hit the mark. Usually sequels are like that, where they just don't hit the mark of their predecessors. So this is a wash, obviously, since the first one was an amazing film. The second one, it didn't hit the mark, but you gotta watch it just because you want to complete the saga. You want to complete the full Fantastic Beasts. I keep wanting to say Harry Potter, but you want to complete the Fantastic Beasts saga. I will move on to the third film, and I know I'm cutting the second film very short and leaving it very open-ended and not really giving you a more in-depth review. But that's because I just recently watched the third film, and that's all I pretty much want to talk about right now. So now we move on to the main event. Fantastic Beasts, again, I'm about to say Harry Potter, and I had to correct myself. So Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, The Secrets of Dumbledore. Yes, Dumbledore. So now we are introduced to Dumbledore when he was younger. And for those that don't know and haven't watched Harry Potter, which just blows my mind, Dumbledore is one of the main characters in the Harry Potter saga. So we are introduced to, again, a lot of different relationships, more in depth of what makes each character tick and what are their motivations. And I must say, we were introduced to a lot more creatures this film, and I was amazed by it. The cinematography was just excellent. I felt so enveloped in just the scenery and how things were being portrayed and just the different creatures and animals. Like, for some reason, it was just a lot different than the first film. Like, I found it to be better. They portrayed some of these characters better. They animated some of these characters just in such a, like, you felt so attached to them in a sense that you felt like they were real. And the best part about this film is that it just gave you such Harry Potter vibes because we get to return to Hogwarts. And I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, so returning to Hogwarts was a big thing for me. Like, it just brought back all the feelings and all the emotions that come with those films and introduced it into this title. And it came full circle basically. So in saying that, like, you got to watch this film. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but this, I'm just going to say it right now, this is on the row hit list. Like, this, yeah, this is for real. Like, you've got to watch this. There's no way that you miss out on, like, just go tomorrow, go the next day, go sometime this week and watch this goddamn film because it is that great. They do leave it open for a sequel. I have heard that they have announced two more films depending on how well this film actually goes. But there's so much more that they can do with this, and I feel it, and I want it to go further because if they did such an amazing job on this third film, how much further can it go? Here's one more information though. Johnny Depp does not play Grindelwald. There was an incident, I'm sure we are all aware. If you are not, he had a case going and was dropped by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers. He was dropped by Warner Brothers and Disney, actually, dropped by everyone. Unfortunately, he was replaced. His replacement did a pretty decent job, I would say. Nothing amazing, but I felt like if Johnny Depp were to have portrayed Grindelwald in this film, we would have seen a different side and it would just have added more to the character and added more to the film because the way he portrays his characters, the way he just really goes in deep and becomes these characters, it allows us to be more invested. And I just felt that was a bit missing, but not so much that, again, I would not like this film. So let's wrap it up and let you know how I would rank these films. So starting from the bottom, we're going to go obviously number 2. Yep, so Crimes of Grindelwald would go in at number 3, sorry. Number 2 film. So it would go into the third spot here, the second spot, and the first spot. So I will get a lot of heat for this. A lot of people will disagree with me. But again, this is just my humble opinion. I felt like in the second spot, the first film would go. So Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them would be in the number 2 spot. And finally in the number 1 spot, just because, as you all know, I put it on the roll hit list, so it has to be number 1. And Secrets of Dumbledore would go right up at top. So that was the order I would rank them in. But obviously watch them in the order that they were released because it wouldn't make sense for you to watch the ending first. And this is not Star Wars, so we're not going to spoil that. I hope you like this review. I will be back with more content and different films and shows for you next week. Back to our normal schedule, hopefully pending no other new movies and sagas come out. But I just really wanted to take this time and show my appreciation for these films and give you a proper rundown of how I felt about each film. Hope you like it. Again, comment, subscribe, like, share, all of the above. And make sure you let me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. I've been making adjustments. I've been listening to everyone that has given me their opinion. And I am trying to make it more wholesome and trying to really just give you guys a professional product. So again, let me know what you feel like I should be watching next, what you feel like I should review next, and what I should be doing better. Thank you for all your support. Later, guys. We're going to move on to the second film, which is Harry... Okay, what happened?